John, I guess maybe starting to become a story of the season, you'd be a lot happier if games finished after 75 minutes.
Yeah, I was really cross at the end. I think we let ourselves down how we finished the game. I don't know if it's a culture thing or if they're expending so much energy. I just don't know at the minute, so we'll have to go away, have a real good look at it. But obviously it feels like a fake win. That's one of the players that said that to me, because obviously we were comfortable at 24-0 and then we've absolutely put the queue on the rack, and we've just imploded with penalties, missed tackles and errors, and it's just the last sort of how we finished the game has been awful. So we really need to address that. But the plus point is we've won. We picked up 2 points and we ain't played that well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like I say, at 24-0, we've sat there thinking, well, it's been not been the best performance you've ever put in, but it was a fairly comfortable one.
Yeah.
And I suppose you must take positives that you've found a way to win when not at your best.
Yeah, we were comfortable at that point in time. I think they couldn't shake themselves out of that comfort. I think Newcastle came on the back of an indifferent performance that they had against London, and they came with a game plan where they were just going to complete and starve of us the ball if they possibly could, and it almost worked because their completion rate was very, very high indeed. But we're too happy to blame the officials, and we've got to be accountable for our own actions. That's what we've got to be, and we'll have to develop that over the season. And that's probably one of the worst. I think that and Sheffield's probably the worst we've played all season. But the thankful thing is we've picked up 2 points, which, looking at the other results, there'll be a lot of teams who are also fancied to be in and around where we are, who would be happy to trade in a performance for 2 points.
Yeah, and as you say, the 2 points, I think it lifts Widnes up to 4th in the table, which is perhaps demonstrative of what you just said. It's all about getting the wins.
It is, yeah, but if we'd have played as we played today against the Toulouse and against the Bradford, the scorelines would have looked very, very different. So, we've got to lick our wounds, be honest with ourselves, and then look forward to what's coming up, and hopefully we can string some form and some wins together.
What was the sin bin for? Was it just a persistent offending?
I've no idea, but I've just had a good go at all the players. We need to stop being victims. We've got to be accountable for our own actions, and there must be some reason, because you can't sin bin somebody for nothing, so there must be some reason, and I'll attempt to clarify that with the official afterwards. But we need to be accountable for our own actions, and we need to stop playing the victim and get on with playing the game of rugby league.
You had a little bit of disruption, of course, during the game with Jack Owens going off, which meant you had to shuffle some bodies around. How did that impact the team, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think he's been probably our best player consistently over the season, and to lose him so early on obviously did impact us. It forced a reshuffle, but I thought there were, despite my dissatisfaction generally with the team performance, I thought there was some really good individual performances. I thought Wiley in the centre, when we moved him out in the centre, I thought he was really good, and Flem did a good job at fullback as well. So there was disruption, but the lads who had to be shuffled and cover did a good job as well.
How bad's Jack's injury looking?
Well, it's very early to say at this moment in time, because obviously there's an element of swelling there, but the doctor's had a quick look and he says he thinks it's soft tissue. If it's soft tissue, I'll be very happy, because a bit of ice and a bit of treatment, and hopefully it'll be okay for next week.
I suppose with Sam Wild's performance in the centres, it perhaps helps you a little bit, because he's short there. If Fleming goes in at full back, it at least gives you that option to put
it
Wild
does,
in.
yes, and there were some other. I think Aaron Brown's played well. Benty's been his normal self. I thought Anthony Walker did a good job off the bench. So there are some bright sort of points as well. But it's just when you finish a game like that, it just deflates you. And although we've got the 2 points, you feel, it's, I don't know, it's a strange, it's a fake, it's like a fake win. It really is. We talk about fake news, that's like a fake win. So, as I say, we'll have to dust ourselves down, have a good look at ourselves, and make sure we're better next week.
You named Owen Farmer from the 21-man squad. Was he close to getting selection, or is he still
Owen Farmworth will play next week,
right?
And that's one good thing about how we finished the game there. It's given me plenty of reasons to get one of our gun middle unit players in the starting lineup or whatever. So he will play next week.
And I guess Jordan Johnson and Lewis Hatton will be okay after their concussions.
Well, Jordan Johnson might not be because we're having to consult with the doctor, but Lewis Hatton certainly will be. So again, that's another middle unit man who we can have a good look at, because some of our middle units today, they looked as if they looked absolutely shattered from the start, and it's a good job we've had Matty Fozzard and Aaron Brown who could play, and Liam Bentz who can play long minutes and do it with energy.
Obviously, it'll be a tough trip to Dewsbury. I know they're in League One now, but it's always a tough game there.
Well, they've just hammered somebody, Rochdale, I think 52-4 or something. So they're a good team. They're undefeated. They're a good team. Liam Finn's a very smart. He was a very smart footballer, so he'll be a very smart coach as well. So, yeah, if we play like that, we'll lose. So we have to play a lot better.